Let's more dig deep into the animation part of 3D Studio Max. In 3D Studio Max, we can almost animate anything, whether it is the polygons or it is the modifier or the textures. So let's see what we can animate here. So first of all, let's see how we can animate the sizes or the segments of any primitive. Suppose I will make a box here, okay, and I will make it a little smaller, and I will keep it somewhere here. Okay, now I can turn on my auto key from here, create the first, you can say, the keyframe, and then let me do one more thing. I can go inside my time configuration and shorten it down to 100 frames, so I don't have to wait a lot for long frames, and then, you know, I don't want any longer animation. I want a shorter animation, so it will play easily for you guys. So now once I am on frame 100, I can go in the modify, okay, and I can give it a height of 100, okay, something like here. Let me type here, and you can see it have now height of 100 centimeter. Now I can go back to 0, and you can see that the height is animating. Same thing I can do with the you can say all of my segments here. So let me turn on my edge faces. Now here I don't have any one of these, okay, so they all are 1 here, but if I will go to 100, I can increase the height segment. Okay, so you can see from 0 there is no height segment, and as soon it is animating, the height segments are increasing. So you can see here they are turned into red. So this red actually means that they are animating right now. Okay, so just simple as that, you can animate the parameters of any primitive you have. Other than that, what we can do here is we can animate the modifier. So let me turn off the auto key, delete this one, and let's make a cylinder here. Now in the cylinder, I can increase its height segment so it can modify more clearly, and then I can go in my modifier list and I can use any one of my modifiers here. For example, I can use a bend modifier. Okay, I can go on the frame 0, turn on my auto key, create a keyframe, then I can go to the last keyframe, last frame here, 100, and I can increase the angle here, something like this. Okay, and you can see that this is animating. Okay, what else I can do is that I can move this around. Suppose I can move this one here. Okay, and then what else I can do is I can go to this last one, which is 100. Okay, and I can go in the bend modifier here and then go inside its stack. I can take the gizmo or maybe center, and then I can move this around. Okay, so this will also animate. Let me do one thing. Let me take the gizmo and move the gizmo a little bit here. Okay, and you can see that this is how it can animate. Okay, so this kind of animation you can do with the modifiers. And let me delete this, and I'll create one more thing here as a cylinder, or maybe sphere I can take. So I will take a sphere here, and then I can put the sphere on the base pivot somewhere here. And what I can do here is that I can go to my materials. Okay, I can take any one of these materials, suppose this one, and I will apply over here. You can see that it is pinkish. I can turn on my auto key, okay, and create a new set key here. Okay, I will select this one, click the set key, and then I will go to the last frame and I will change this color to something else, like maybe bluish. Okay, and you can see that this has been turned into red. That means this is animating. So if you can see, now it is turning from pink to blue. So you can animate the textures as well. So almost anything can be animated inside the 3D Studio Max. Okay. Now, one thing is that suppose I have this sphere here, okay, and I can do some animation like from here, then it moves somewhere here on the top, then it goes on the bottom, okay, and then top again somewhere here, and then it comes back here, okay, and then it goes up here, and then comes back here. So you will have this kind of an animation, small animation here. But at the same time, what I can do on the same keyframes, what I have here, okay, I can toggle this, so I can jump to the keyframes. I can scale these, okay, with the squish and stretch thing, okay, and then what I can do here is that I can simply make a simple animation here, just like this, okay. This one I can keep normal as it is coming down. So now each of these keyframes, if you will notice here, okay, they all have two changes that is happening. One is the movement, its location, because it's changing its location like x-axis and y-axis, okay, and also it is changing its size, like it's scaling, okay. Now what if I want to move only scaling, okay, not the position, not the position keyframe? So if I move this around, what will happen is that it will move both of them. It will move the scale and it will move also the, you can say, the scale. So how I can move scale separately and move separately? To do that, we have an option. We have an option which is called dope sheet. To get the dope sheet, let me turn this off from here, okay. I have to go to graph editors, and then I have your curve editor and dope sheet. So if I will go in the dope sheet, you can see something similar to graph editor, okay, but here you will not see the curves, you will see these dots. What are these? These are the keyframes basically. So here's my sphere, okay, and inside the sphere, if I will click on this plus button, it will show me the changes that I have applied to it. I have applied transformation to it, and also I have applied the texture change to it. So those are here. Now I have the object spheres or settings in itself, which I didn't change, like the parameters of the sphere itself. So I have not changed it, so you can see it's all empty. Now in the transform, I don't have to worry about the wall paint, which is the texture, okay, because we changed the texture from pink to blue. So I don't want to worry about that one, because I want to move different keyframes in the transform. So if I will go in the transform, you can see I don't have anything in rotation, because rotation is basically, you can see, all empty. I didn't rotate my sphere. What I did, I only used the position and scale, okay. In position, I changed X, Y, and Z, okay. So you can see all these keyframes on my screen. Now the red indicates position, okay, and then you have the green which indicates rotation, and blue which indicates the scale. That's why here you will see only red and blue over here, okay, not green, because green is rotation and we didn't change anything in the rotation, okay. So now suppose I want my scale not to be on this frame, I want it to be on this frame, okay. So what I can do, I can first of all move around and see where it is going. Let me minimize it a little bit and scroll it down so you can see the whole thing, what's going on. Now here it stretches on the ground. I don't want it to stretch like it squeezes on the ground. I don't want to squeeze it on the ground. I want it to squeeze when it is in the air, like suppose here. Okay, so what I can do is that I can go in the scale, and this keyframe I can move simply here. Okay, now as soon I will move it here, you can see that now it is squeezing in the air, not on the ground, and when it reaches on the ground, it's becoming normal again. Okay, so I hope this is clear about the dope sheet. So dope sheet helps you to move around your individual keyframes. Okay, so because here everything is mixed up, you can see that it is red and blue. That means rotation and scale are together. Now you can see here I have the new scaling keyframe. Okay, before it wasn't there, now it is there. So this is how you can work with the dope sheet. You can create like new timings here. You can scale the timing as well over here, because if you want to like shorten your animation, or you want to, like, stretch out your animation, you can do from here. You can scale the keyframes here. Suppose I want to slow down this process maybe, so I can take the scaling tool and I can do the scaling here just like this. Okay, so many things you can do with the dope sheet. You have all these keys which are pretty much very simple here. Okay, so I hope you have understood about this one. So let me close this. Now, like any other animation tool, 3D Studio Max allow your objects to move on a path. So let's see how we can move our objects on a path in 3D Studio Max. So let me delete this one. Okay, so what I will do is that I will make a simple cone, okay, from front viewport, something like this. Okay, and I want this cone to move on a path. So I can go in the shapes and I can create a random path over here, open or closed, it's up to you. I will create something like an open path, just like this. Okay, so now I have this one, and let me do one thing. Let me make this a little bigger so that it's easy to see what's going on. And let me maximize this viewport. So I want this cone to move on this path. Okay, so you can see this path is how it is there. Okay, so first of all, what I need to do is that I have to select this one, go in the motion, okay, and then I have to make sure I'm in the position. Okay, so in the position I have here assign controller. So if I will go in the assign controller, I have a lot of different kind of options here. I have transformation, rotation, and scale, and everything here. So if I will go to the position, it's like XYZ. Okay, rotation is Euler XYZ. Now we are more interested in position because we want to put this cone on this path, and its position will be changing according to the path. Okay, so that's why I will not work on these two. I will work on the position. So once I will go in the position, I have to change this position XYZ, which is a regular one, which is your default one, to change it from position XYZ to path constraint. So if I will click on this one, you will see right now it is position XYZ. I don't want this one right now. I want path constraint. So I will go on the path constraint and press OK. Now if you want to reset it, because it will be always on the path constraint, so what you can do, you can come back over here and change it back to position XYZ, or click on the make default. Now I will press OK. Once I will do that, now you can see it is path constraint. Okay, so this means it will be moving on the path. So what I will do, I will go a little bit down, and you can see a new sort of option is created here. And you can also notice that there is one keyframe in the beginning and one keyframe at the ending automatically created. Okay, this means that it will be animating from 0 to 100 frames. You can increase or decrease it by increasing or decreasing your time configuration and move your keyframes. Now what I need to do is that I have to press this add path button. Okay, make sure this is selected all the time when you're doing this process, otherwise you will not have these. Now I will click on add path and click on my path. As soon as I will do that, you will notice that the path is added here, and now if I will move my slider, it is moving on my path. Now when it is moving on the path, you can see that it's not following the path's direction. So simple, what you need to do is that you have to click on the follow. Now it will be following your path. Okay. Now if you don't want this direction, so what you can do, you can go on your first frame and then rotate it to the direction you want. Suppose I want it to be in this direction. So now it will move in this direction. Okay. Now if you want to bank it a little bit, so you can press on the bank button. Okay. And then you can change the bank amount. Like right now my bank amount is 0.5, so I can change it to whatever I want. Okay. And I can smooth it out. Usually you don't use this a lot. You use it if you are animating like a jet animation or a aeroplane animation, but I will keep it as it is. And you can turn it upside down also. Okay, so if in the cone you will not see the result, but in some other objects like in teapot, you can see the teapot will turn upside down. Okay, so I can keep it loop and all these things as it is, and you don't have to change it. So this is how it will be working. Now if you don't want this, you can delete your path, but in the end you have to go back here in your cone and change it back to what it was before from here. Okay, just click on the make default, or just click on here and make default, because this will become default, and you can press OK. But right now it's not a default, it's opened. Okay, but I don't want to do that, because we have to see one more thing here, how we can add a motion blur to it. Okay, now we have already seen the motion blur in the last class, but if we are using Arnold, so if I will go here and choose a physical camera, for example. Okay, so let me make a physical camera from the front viewport. I will drag from the source and go to the target. Okay, and then I can press C over here on the keyboard to get my camera view, and I can adjust my camera the way I want it, wherever I want to set it up. Something like this I think will be fine for me, and then a little bit I can change the camera setting. So you can see I can change the camera setting from here as well, but I need to make sure it's not doing anything wrong. Now once I have done that, I have to make sure I'm in the Arnold renderer. So yes, I'm in the Arnold renderer. Now I have to apply a motion like a blur on it. So suppose I have to go here, take my physical camera here. Okay, and I can turn on the active shade of Arnold. Okay, so I can see the objects here, and now inside my camera I can go and turn on my motion blur in the camera. Okay, so I have to search for the motion blur option here. Here I have to turn it on. As soon as I will do that, you can see that it is calculating the like the setting here. Okay, and then try to check how the render looks like here. So now it's getting better. Okay, so now what I can do is that I can render only the region. Okay, so how to do that? I can click on this button, edit region, make it smaller, put it here, so it will only render this part instead of rendering the whole thing. So maybe I will change it to 0.5 just to see how it looks like, and then let's render it and see how the setting is. So it's kind of like more like having the result. Okay, but not too strong. So let me change it to 1 back. Let's see how this will look like now. So now you can see it's like there is some motion blur. So the quality, as you know, you have to change it, and then it will look much more better with that. Okay, so I have to change it to 10. I think 10 is too much, so maybe 2. and then render. So now you can see that there is a motion blur on it. So this is how you can put the motion blur inside your Arnold when you're rendering in the camera. Okay, so let me delete this physical camera. I don't want the physical camera. Now there is one more option in your 3D Studio Max which is called snapshot. Now what does the snapshot do? Wherever you have the animation, okay, suppose this animation, and you know that it's moving on this path along. So I can create snapshot of this cone, which will be showing you how the animation is working. It will duplicate this on every frame, and it will show you how the animation looks like, okay, like a ghost image or something like that. So what you need to do is that you have to simply select your cone. Once you have selected the cone, you then have to go to your tools, and then you have to click on the snapshot. Now there are some settings that you have to do over here. First of all, do you want to do you want a snapshot for a single frame or for the whole range? So I want the snapshot for the whole range, starting from 0 to 100. So I will click on the range. And how many copies I want it depends. Maybe I want 10 copies, okay, or you can say maybe 25 copies, okay. And I want each one of them as an instance, yes, because if I will change one of it, so all the others will change. So it's a good idea to create a snapshot in that way. Now I can press OK, and you can see that these cones have been made on the path. The cone is actually showing you, if I will move it around, you can see that that cone is moving on the same path, and all these are snapshots of that moving cone, okay. So this can be a version of duplicating something, like a super duper like kind of duplication, and you can make interesting things, okay. For example, what I can do here is that if I will take all these cones, okay, delete it, and then if I will go on the top viewport here and then create something like this, I will take my rectangle tool, okay, create a small rectangle here with a corner radius of this size, okay. So you can see that how it looks like, and then I can make it renderable, okay, so it will have a little thickness, okay. Now what I can do is that I can take this one, let me increase its thickness a little more, something like this, okay. I think this is good enough. Now I can take this one, take my rotation tool, snap the like angle rotation, and then press shift key and rotate this from the front viewport, so it will rotate exactly on 90 degrees because of the snap, and shift will allow me to clone it, so I will choose as an instance and press OK, and then I can move this one a little bit here, okay. Now what I will do is that I will select this both and group them, and the same thing which I did, okay, in my, let me select this one, go to the color and change its color to something like this, okay. It's not that good, it's blending with the background. Let me make it bluish, okay. Now it's good. So now what I can do is that I can take this one and go in the motion, okay. Again, I'll go in the motion position, click on this one, path constraint, okay, and then I will repeat the same process. I will take the add path, click over here, and then I can see how it's moving, okay. I have to make it follow path, and then adjust its direction, okay. Now it's good. Now I will do the same thing. I will go to the tools, okay, and then inside the tools I will go to the snapshot, okay, range, everything is fine, and then I will press OK, and you can see that what we have on the screen is a chain, okay. So you can see this is a really good way of making a chain or any kind of ornaments you want, or anything that can be done with this. So you can be creative and make a lot of different things with the help of the snapshot. So I hope you have understood about this. Let me delete all these items from the screen. Okay. I can delete these all. Now let me go back here. Let me reset this whole thing. So let me open a file here. Okay. And this file you can find in your exercise folder. So it's a simple object. Here you can see a fan. Okay, fan have a body, it have a cage of the fan, and then the fins here. Okay, and then you have this sphere, which is a ball basically, and there is a spindle of this fan as well. Okay, now what I need to do here is that I want to animate this as a regular animation. So what I can do, I can maximize it. Okay, and then I can position everything from here. Okay, so I will select everything here except for the sphere, and I can move this wherever I want here. Okay, I will move it back a little bit. Okay, so now I have this one. This ball I will move somewhere here. Now what I will do here is that I want to animate this fan as this fins are moving, and also the fan is rotating. Okay, so for the rotation part, what you need to do is that it's a very simple animation. So I will take the fins, okay, and I want to rotate the fins just like this. But what if I don't want to animate fins directly? I want to animate something else, and I want to parent the fins to that secondary object. Let me do one thing here. Let me select this one and go in the display settings and hide this one. Okay, so I can see only the fins. Now what I will do here is that I will first of all go to my all viewports, and I will go to the front viewport here. So once I'm in the front viewport, I will go to create option, and then I have here helpers. Inside the helper I have dummy. Now what is the dummy basically? Dummy is basically an outline or something that is not renderable. It's only there to attach to objects, okay, and to help around. So I will take the dummy here and then create a small dummy in front of the fan. So I will just create just like this, put it just in the middle of this. Let me do one more thing here. Let me take the spindle and also hide the spindle from the display menu, and then hide selected. So in this case I can see the whole thing. Now I will try to adjust this in the middle, somewhere here. Now what I will do is that I will take these fins and I will make these fins child of this dummy. So let me move this dummy a little bit far away, just like this, so that it will become easier. I will take this one, the fins. I will take my linking object and link these fins to the dummy. Now the fins are linked to the dummy, and dummy has become the parent of the fins. Now if I will do any kind of operation on the dummy, you can see that it is affecting the fins, okay, whether it is moving or scaling or any other thing. So you can see that, so it is affecting the fins. So now let's animate the fins. I will go to the first frame, which is 0. Okay, I will turn on my auto key and create a keyframe, but you have to make sure you have selected the dummy. Okay, so once you will click it here, I can go to frame 25. Okay, and then here what I will do is that I will rotate this dummy, okay, from this z-axis all the way to 360 degrees. Okay, so you can notice over here, you can see that I'm just keep on rotating till I get the value closer to 360. Okay, like something around, you can say 358. So that's fine. So now you can see that how it is animating. So this is how it is animating, but it stops at 25. So I don't want to stop this thing at 25. What I want is that I want to keep it rolling. So what I will do here is I will keep my dummy selected, turn off my auto key, then I will go to the graph editor here, the curve editor. Inside the curve editor, I will search for the rotation part. Then I will go to the Y, and then you can see the Y is too bigger here. Take this one. Okay, and then I have to minimize this, and then I can take all of these from here, and then I will take the outer range type, click on loop. So you can see that everything is done right. So you can see now it is looping. Okay, but you can see it is stopping at some stage. The reason it is stopping is because my rotation is not linear. It have ease in and ease out. So what I can do here is that I can go back here in my curve editor, and then I will go to the Z rotation here. Okay, sorry, Y rotation here, and then go down. Now you can see that it is kind of a little bit curved. So I don't want that. I want it to be completely straight. So I will select this, okay, and then choose the tangent to linear. So once I will do that, you can see now it is straight. So the animation will not have any kind of slow in and slow out. So if I will play here, so you can see it is rotating with the regular and constant speed. Okay, one more thing you can do that if you think this is too slow, so you can make it a little bit faster. Okay, there is an extra keyframe here which I can move this back here as well, and now it will be fine. Okay, so it's a constant speed. Now what I will do here is, now there will be nested animation, means animation within animation. So while these fins are spinning, the head of the fan will be rotating as well. So I will unhide the cage from here, unhide all, and there I will have. Okay, now as what I did here, okay, same thing I will do with this cage. Okay, so I will make a dummy here, okay, at the top of this part, okay, because the dummy will be in the center of this rod, okay, or bar, or whatever it is, part of a fan. I don't know what it is called, but fine. Okay, now what I will do here is I will select all these, okay, and I will link them to this dummy. First, let's do with the cage. Okay, I will take the cage, link this cage to the dummy, okay, and then I will take the spindle and link to the dummy. Okay, now I don't have to take the body because body will be not rotating. Now the cage is linked, this spindle is linked, but now what about the fins? Now fins I don't want to link to the dummy because fins are already the part of this dummy. This dummy is the parent of this. So I want this dummy, okay, to be linked with this one. So this will become the grandparent, and this will become the parent, and this will be the child, and these will be the siblings, something like that, like a family tree, what do you know. Okay, so here I will take this dummy and link it with this. So once I will do that, I will move this, so this dummy will move this by this one, but this dummy is moving the spindles or the fins. So if I will move this, you can see that the fins are still moving. Okay, so what I will do, I will keep my fins here somewhere, like my head of the fan here. Okay, and then I will turn on my auto key, create a keyframe for this one, and then I will move to maybe something around 50. Okay, not 50, I think 100 will be good. And then I will go and face this ball. Okay, once I'm there, then I will go to something around 1 or 125. Okay, and I will create another keyframe. So what is this? This is a holding keyframe. So from 100 to 125, nothing is happening. And then I will go a little bit more forward. Okay, and move this dummy, rotate this dummy back to here. Okay, so how the animation will look like? The animation will look like this at this stage. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay, so you can see that something like this. Okay, so as soon it comes here, okay, I want this ball to rotate. So here what I will do is that I will make a keyframe. I will turn on the auto key. I will make a keyframe. Okay, let me go outside, and then let me move this ball in this direction. So make sure it is local so you can see the direction of that. Okay, and then I will go a little bit more forward. Okay, something, I think it should not take little time to rotate spin, move around. So I will move this ball here a bit. Okay, and also what I will do here is that I will rotate this ball somewhere like this. Okay, so it should be like this. Okay, now I will turn off the auto key, then I will go here, maximize it just to see how the animation look like. Now if I will play it, so you can see that how the animation is playing. So good enough. Okay, so I want this animation to stop at frame 200, so I can go in the modifier list, in the time configuration. Inside the time configuration, I will change the end time to 200 and press OK. Now if I will play this one, so you can see the animation is there. Now if you want to render this animation, so you have different ways to do that. The first thing that you can do here is to render a preview of it and send it to your friend to show, or to your client to show them how the animation is, and once they finalize it, you can render it, because rendering takes time. Preview does not take time. Okay, to make a preview, you have to go to the tools option here, and then you have to go to the preview graph viewport. Okay, and then you can press here create preview animation. So once you will do that, it will ask you what do you want to preview. So we want to preview the whole range from 0 to 200. Okay, and then I want to animate the whole frame, and this is my output. And 100%, it will show me this big output, or you can reduce it whatever you want. This is where it will be saved. Okay, and then what else you want to show? You want to show particle system? No, I don't want to show particle system, or you can keep it as it is. I don't want to show the helpers, so I don't want these dummies to show when I'm making a preview. Okay, so I will uncheck this one. Already it is unchecked. Rest everything I will create as I will keep it as it is, and then I will press create button. So as soon I will do that, it will generate a animation just like this. Okay, and once it is done, it will stop it, and then it will save in the same folder where I have put that file output. So this is how easily you can make a preview file, which will be not too big. You can send it to your friends or anyone or your client so that they can review it, and then once they give you this right signal, you can animate the actual animation. So now you can see that it has been created the actual preview. So if I will play here you can see how it looks like. So this will be a file that you can send to your client or anyone that you want that person to review it. And plus it will be very short file, and it will render in a very few amount of time. But if you want an actual file to render, So what you need to do here is that you have to go in the rendering, okay, render setup, or you can do from here, from the shortcut. Now if you're using Arnold or Scanline, the setting will be same. Suppose I want to render the whole sequence from 0 to 200, so I will turn on to 0 to 200, okay, from active, or it's up to you from here to here, okay, like we studied in the last classes. And then what you want to render the whole scene or a region or a cropped or blow up. So we will choose view, okay. You can choose your settings, then where you want to save it. So if I click it here, it will save in the render output. Now here I can choose a movie file, which is MOV or AVI file, or if I will choose JPEG, so what it will do is that it will create a sequence of this JPEG file. Now that sequence, I can take it to my editing software like Premiere or Final Cut or After Effects, and I can join it there. This is good idea because if you're rendering a video and your animation stops, so you have to re-render the whole thing. But if you're rendering sequence of images, so whatever frame it is stopped or crashed, so you can start from that frame and you don't have to start from the very beginning. So this is a good idea if you are using an image sequence rather than a video itself. Okay, and then rest of the everything is same as you will do before, and then you can keep on rendering and it will start rendering. Other thing you can do here is the batch render. Now batch render actually works in the same way, okay, but you should have Arnold full version, because the one that comes with the 3D Studio Max is not a full version, okay. But you can do this batch rendering for the scan line, okay. And Arnold, you can do that too, but you will get the watermark. Now what is the batch rendering? The batch rendering is, it will start rendering your animation in the background and you can work on something else, okay. You can work on whatever you want. So you can click here to your output file, okay. First of all, you have to press add to have it out like your scene here, okay. And then you have to choose your frames 0 to 200, okay, size whatever you want, okay, name of your batch file, where you want to render it, okay. Suppose here I want to render it, so I can type here MOV or JPEG sequence, whatever you want, you can do that, okay. You can write the file name here and then choose whatever encoder compressor you want. I don't want it to compress, so I will choose uncompressed, press save. Camera, I don't have any camera here, so I will keep it as it is. Everything is as it is, so I don't have to change here. These I will keep it as it is because I'm using Arnold, I'm not using any one of these, okay. So then what I can do is that I can just press the render. I can, you know, add more cameras, other things, so it will render everything at the same time. So right now I'm only using one rendering part. Then I will press render, okay. And then what it will do is that it will start rendering my scene, okay. And after that I can close it and then I can work on something else, okay. So I hope you have understood everything from this 3D Studio Max Essential course. It doesn't have to be 2021 version. It can be the older version, it can be the new version, okay. Some of the things you might not find in the older version, but definitely newer version if something comes up and like in future, so you might not have any issues. So please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe it now. Click on the bell icon, because now we will be learning more other software, okay. There is ZBrush in line, After Effects is in line, okay. We have Houdini in line. We have so many other things in line, so we will be covering a lot of different kind of applications. We have Adobe products, we have Pixologic products, we have Autodesk products, okay. So please click on the bell icon, subscribe to the channel, like this video if you have followed through this the tutorial. And there is a lot of things coming up, and I hope this 3D Studio Max Essential course will help you a lot. Once you will go through this whole course, this will fortify your 3D knowledge, 3D design knowledge. If you are transferring from Maya to 3D Studio Max. So it will help you a lot. And if you have never worked on 3D Studio Max, in that case also it will help you. If you're already like a 3D Studio Max user, so you might learn something new in these courses. So thanks a lot for your support. Keep supporting me, because if you will do that, it will encourage me to create more and more tutorials. So guys, enjoy 3D Studio Max, and congratulations on completing this whole essential course. And let's rock and roll for the other courses. Take care, guys.